And welcome back to the channel again. You join me in my tackle garage today because I can't get out fishing due to a number of reasons, and I still wanted to show you something. Now, we're going to be doing barbel rigs today. When I do a barbel rig, I like two things: strong and simple. People can make it confusing with adding all these different swivels and bits of braiding, but I just don't like that. I think the fish can see it and sense it, and then you get less bite, obviously. So I'm going to show you today my barbel rig, which I've had a multitude of barbel on and big chub from many different rivers, such as the Wye, Severn, and, well, not the Trent yet, but I'm going to show you how to tie the perfect barbel rig. Stay tuned. Also guys, a massive thanks to you lot for liking the videos and leaving some lovely comments and subscribing. It means the world to us. We've been doing the channel now for about 2 months and the support we've had so far has been amazing. That's thanks to you lot. Let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. That would mean so much to us. Also, you want to be subscribed for the next video. It's an in-depth video of barbel fishing. Stay tuned for that.
So, the first step is to take your hook length material of choice. I'm using the Korda IQ2 fluorocarbon. And what we want to do before we tie any knots or anything, just going to trim that end off where it's a bit rough and it makes everything easier and makes it so much easier to tie. So in this end, we're just going to tie a really small overhand loop knot. As small as you can manage, really. It's the smaller the better, because the fish can't see it. So we're just going to tie an overhand loop. And then with this needle, with like a small hook on the end, I like to use that just to pull that through. And then with some saliva, it's important to wet your knots so nothing slips due to friction. And then just pull that down nice and tightly. And then with the line scissors again, it's important that you trim this quite short because it's near the business end of the rig and the fish could see it quite easily. So there we go, just a tiny little overhand loop knot. And now I like to just get a rough length of my rig, not perfect. I'm just doing one about 2 feet today because the rivers are high and on flood because it's winter. So just trim that and chuck it out the way. And then we're just going to take our hook of choice. I'm using a size 8 drennan specialist barbel. So just take that out of the packaging. It's quite fiddly. And then it's quite springy line, so I like to just run my finger along it to straighten it out, and it makes it easier. And now we've got the hook and we're going to thread it on the line. So the line that goes through the back of the eye, and then you just pull it down to the little loop we tied earlier. And then with this loop, it's called a hair, and it's what your bait goes on. I like to tie it about 1 inch long, so it's quite versatile for different baits such as spam, pellets or boilies. And now we're going to tie a knotless knot. So we'll just lash that round 10 or 11 times around the shank of the hook. So we do that now, and then on the way back up, I like to wrap it round just twice to anchor everything in place. And now, with the other end of the line, that goes through the front of the eye, and then you just pull that down, and then pull tight, and there, a perfect knotless knot, ready to handle them big barbel fights. And just to finish off the rig, I like to tie a fairly big loop in the end. Now this loop just attaches onto your swivel on the main line. so it can be quite big and rough as long as it's strong. So it's just a figure of 8 loop again, and use this needle again with the hook just to pull it through, and then with saliva again just wet the knot so it doesn't slip due to friction, and then pull it tight again. I always like to pull it quite tight so it tests it for the fish. And then this doesn't have to be as neat as the small loop before, but trim the tag end, maybe leaving 3 or 4 millimeters on, and there we go, just a biggish loop.
Here it is, the finished rig, strong and simple. That's how the Barbel like it. It's inconspicuous and the fish can't see it. Now, it was only a short video today, but there's some longer videos coming up about barbel fishing and about match fishing, so make sure you're subscribed to get notified about them. See you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.